Majo, John, Ned, and Juanito in the shower room of the Salvation Army shelter in Asheville, North Carolina around 7 o'clock. I am beat. I'm heading for bed. But I want to make a note about ways I've been trying to instill peace around me. It's December 1st. We're officially in the Christmas season. It was overcast and cold today. And a lot of things didn't go my way, but the most important things did. I started out today, the most important priority today, I thought, was to make headway on finding an apartment because I really want to get out of here. I made exactly no progress on that at all. But along the way, I got my check today, and I get expansive when I get money. So I took a stand against spending money and made a video about taming my addiction to expanding into spending. I bought several packs of cigarettes to pay back people who have been giving me cigarettes when I've been out of money. That felt good, and giving them out felt really good. The place I went to get them, the girl there was awfully attractive, and that's my biggest addiction, is sex and romance. I said, okay, witness, witness, witness. When she sold me a cigarette lighter with a sea turtle on it, that means a lot to me from Acamal, Mexico, where I just was for 10 months. Tears popped out in my eyes, as they do when I get Mexico memories. I tried to tell her about it, and she said, oh, I've got a memory about sea turtles. And I went, see, if you discipline yourself to only try to have relationships with people where you can genuinely have a relationship, where you can actually talk with each other, things will be a lot calmer, and I got calmer. I met a really interesting woman last week, and we made plans for coffee. And we have a lot in common. And I sent her several videos that kind of showed that I understand things she might understand. And she barked at me. She sent me a text message saying, it's too much. I agreed to coffee. I never said we're going to be friends. Don't assume we're going to be friends. It stung. And I breathed and took it like a man and said, she's right. She's right. I expanded. I do that. I get ahead of myself. She never said she wanted to be friends. That's not assumed yet, but I was starting to assume it. I apologized. I didn't grovel. I said my policy about apologies is I won't apologize because somebody wants me to. But if I've been a jerk, I will. I've been a jerk. And I always immediately forgive myself if I can't help but being a jerk. I was doing my best. And it was true. I wasn't mad at myself. I just was acknowledging, yeah, you're right. You're right. You set a boundary. You got a right to do that. The last thing that I really, really wanted to do tonight, I go to a Toastmasters public speaking meeting on Monday night where people love me and I love them. And I had a ride back. It's a long walk. But I had money in my pocket. I was going to take a Lyft, like an Uber, over there. But the guards here balked at giving me a pass because I hadn't done it in the morning, and I would be getting back after 8 when we're due in. And although there's lots of money in my account, the Lyft payment wouldn't go through, maybe because I've just charged too many things today. And I was beaten. I said, let it go. You don't need to go. And because I let it go, one of the reasons I most want to get out of here is because I had a bad run-in with a good young guy in the bunk right across from me over noise he was making during the night. And he was right and I was right, but I did yell at him in the middle of the night. And he's been resenting me ever since. Because I stayed back and didn't go to my meeting, I encountered him out on the stairwell where we have the fire escape where we get the smoke, and I offered him a cigarette. He said, no, that's okay. You don't need to do that. And I said, well, I was an ass with you. I didn't have to say you were an ass too, because he kind of was. But he said, I was an ass. I was. And he says, no problem. Gave me a fist bump. And then I said, to try to soften the thing, it's hard sleeping with 20 guys. Then the guy I like and admire most here came in with a slightly homophobic joke about sleeping with 20 guys. And none of them knows I'm bisexual. No need for that. But instead of getting my back up and defensive and saying that's not a good joke, I went with it. Christmas season, let it ride. I said, not 20 at the same time. Always intimate and always love involved. And everybody was in hysterics. So that worked. That worked. It softened everything. I came downstairs and put order in my environment. Just got everything in apple pie order, even though I'm exhausted. And said, let's capture this. And let's do it in under 6 minutes, and we're 2 seconds over that. So I got to show up. Lucky you. Merry Christmas, folks.